Hello, brothers, and welcome to Sigma Old Man channel. The world isn't run by laws, it's run by the people who know how to bend them without getting caught. Here's a brutal fact. Intelligence alone doesn't guarantee survival. In fact, some of the smartest men in history have been outplayed, outmaneuvered, and outright destroyed, not because they lacked knowledge, but because they lacked street smarts. You can have a genius-level IQ, a bookshelf full of self-improvement books, and a mind sharper than a razor. But if you don't know how to read people, dodge traps, and anticipate moves before they happen, you're just an easy target with a high vocabulary. And here's where it gets funny. Most Sigma males think their independence and analytical mindset are enough to protect them. Wrong. Being a lone wolf isn't just about avoiding people, it's about knowing how to navigate the unpredictable, the ruthless, and the unseen dangers that lurk in every deal, handshake, and casual conversation. The world isn't designed to be fair, it's designed to reward those who know the game, and if you don't learn the rules fast, you will get played. So why do all Sigma males need to be street smart? Because in a world where wolves dress like sheep and the biggest smiles hide the sharpest knives, survival isn't about being the strongest. It's about being the smartest in ways that books will never teach you. At number one, nice guys don't finish last. They get eaten alive. Nice guys don't just finish last. They don't even make it to the real game. They get used, dismissed, and left wondering why the world doesn't reward their kindness. The truth? The world doesn't care how good you are, it cares how smart you are. And being blindly nice without street smarts is like walking into a lion's den wearing a meat suit. People will take advantage of you. And the worst part is they won't even feel bad about it. They'll smile, take what they need, and leave you with nothing but regrets. There's a difference between being a genuinely good man and being a naive fool. A good man understands balance. He knows when to be kind and when to be sharp. He recognizes manipulation, tests loyalty, and sets boundaries that people can't cross. The fool, on the other hand, thinks that if he just gives more, tolerates more, and forgives more, he'll be appreciated. But the only thing he earns is a permanent place in people's minds as someone easy to use. Society loves telling men to be nice because it makes them easier to control. The real winners in life aren't the ones bending over backwards to please everyone. They're the ones who know how to navigate power dynamics. They don't let guilt or social pressure make decisions for them. They understand that the world isn't run by kindness, it's run by leverage, strategy, and an understanding of human nature. Nice guys believe in fairness. Street smart men understand that fairness is an illusion, and the only way to ensure you don't get cheated is to play smart. That means knowing when to walk away, when to demand respect, and when to be unapologetically firm. It means seeing through fake friendships, recognizing hidden motives, and never letting emotions cloud judgment. This doesn't mean becoming a ruthless jerk. It means being kind when it's deserved and being tough when it's necessary. Weak kindness is useless. It's a free pass for manipulation. But controlled kindness, that's power. The Sigma male who understands this never gets eaten alive. Instead, he's the one holding the fork, deciding what's on the menu. Number two, fake loyalty will ruin you before fake enemies do. A known enemy is predictable. You see them coming, you know their intent, and you prepare accordingly. But fake loyalty, that's the silent killer. These people wear the mask of friendship, support, and even admiration, all while sharpening the knife they'll eventually put in your back. They're not here to fight you openly. They're here to use you, drain you, and discard you the moment you're no longer beneficial to them. And the worst part, by the time you realize their true nature, the damage is already done. Fake allies don't attack directly. They operate in whispers, in half-truths, in subtle acts of sabotage disguised as help. They'll celebrate your wins just enough to blend in, but never enough to truly be happy for you. They'll stand beside you, not to lift you up, but to keep themselves close enough to pull you down when the opportunity arises. And when you finally fall, they'll act shocked, pretend to be on your side, and then quietly move on to their next target. A street-smart Sigma male doesn't just trust words, he trusts patterns. People reveal themselves in small ways. The hesitation before they celebrate your success. The way they only show up when they need something. The subtle digs they disguise as jokes. Real loyalty is consistent, but fake loyalty always has an expiration date. If you pay attention, you'll see it coming before it's too late. The real danger isn't your enemy's attack, it's your fake ally's betrayal. And the only way to protect yourself is to never mistake proximity for loyalty. Just because someone is close doesn't mean they're on your side. A Sigma male moves in silence, watches closely, and cuts off the snakes before they get the chance to bite. Because in a world full of hidden agendas, the deadliest weapon isn't strength, it's awareness. Number 3, money makes people lie. Always read between the lines. Money is the ultimate truth serum, but not in the way most people think. It doesn't make people more honest, it makes them better liars. The moment money enters the equation, words become weapons, loyalty becomes negotiable, and promises become as solid as smoke. People will tell you exactly what you want to hear if it means securing the bag for themselves. And if you're not street smart enough to see through the performance, you'll end up being the one funding someone else's dreams while yours crumble. The mistake most people make is assuming that just because someone sounds sincere, they are sincere. But words are cheap. Anyone can say, "I've got your back," "I'm doing this for your benefit," or "This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity." But a street-smart Sigma male doesn't listen to words, he watches patterns. What does this person gain if I believe them? Have they ever backed up their words with actions? Do they behave differently when money isn't involved? The answers to these questions will tell you more than any rehearsed speech ever could. This is especially true in business, friendships, and even relationships. The moment money is on the table, people become actors. Some will fake humility, others will fake struggle. And the most dangerous ones will fake love. They'll spin stories, guilt-trip you, promise the world anything to separate you from your resources. And once they get what they want, that's when you see their real face. The sudden disappearances, the conveniently forgotten promises, the "I never said that" gaslighting. All classic signs you were just a stepping stone. The only way to avoid getting played is to stop being impressed by words and start demanding proof. If someone truly believes in what they're saying, their actions will confirm it. If they hesitate, make excuses, or get defensive when questioned, they were lying from the start. A street-smart Sigma male doesn't just read between the lines, he reads people. Because in a world where money makes even the most honest men bend the truth, the only way to stay ahead is to see the lie before it costs you. Number 4, predators respect predators, not prey. The world doesn't respect weakness, it preys on it. If you walk around expecting fairness, kindness, or a level playing field, you're setting yourself up to be devoured. People might smile at you, act friendly, and even pretend to have your best interests at heart, but deep down, most are playing their own game. And in this game, there are only 2 types of people: those who hunt and those who get hunted. Predators don't waste time feeling sorry for the weak, they exploit them. The moment someone senses that you hesitate, second-guess yourself, or blindly trust others, they know you're easy to manipulate. They'll test you with small things, a request here, a favor there, just to see how much you'll tolerate. And if you keep saying yes, keep accommodating, keep assuming people mean well, you've just marked yourself as prey. They'll drain your time, your energy, your resources, and when you're finally of no use, they'll discard you like yesterday's news. A street-smart Sigma male understands that respect isn't given, it's taken. You don't get respect by being nice, agreeable, or blindly trusting. You get it by showing that you're nobody's fool. That means setting boundaries so sharp they cut, recognizing manipulation before it happens, and never giving people more than they've earned. Predators only respect other predators. If they see that you're not someone who can be easily used, they'll think twice before trying. This doesn't mean becoming ruthless for no reason. It means carrying yourself in a way that makes it clear, I see the game you're playing and I play it better. It means being strategic, aware, and never letting emotions cloud your judgment. Because in a world that runs on power, influence, and control, only those who know how to maneuver survive. The rest, they get eaten alive. Number 5, contracts don't protect you. Leverage does. Contracts look good on paper, but in the real world, paper doesn't stop someone from screwing you over. People break contracts all the time. Some find loopholes, others flat out ignore them. And if they have more power than you, good luck enforcing anything. The brutal truth is that contracts don't protect you. Leverage does. Because at the end of the day, the person with the most leverage dictates how things really go. Leverage isn't about what's written in black and white, it's about control. It's about having something the other person can't afford to lose. Maybe it's information, influence, resources, or the ability to walk away without consequence. Whatever it is, if you don't have it, you're at the mercy of whoever does. You can sit there and point at the contract all you want, but if the other party knows you have no real power to enforce it, they'll take what they want and leave you with the scraps. This is why street-smart Sigma males never rely on promises, agreements, or legal documents alone. They play chess, not checkers. They make sure that before they enter any deal, business, personal, or otherwise, they have something that ensures they can't be played. They position themselves in a way where if someone tries to cheat them, the consequences aren't worth the risk. You see this in business, relationships, and even friendships. The person who needs the situation to work has no leverage. The person who can walk away without blinking holds all the power. This is why the biggest companies, wealthiest individuals, and most powerful people don't just sign contracts, they create conditions. They set things up so that even if someone wants to betray them, the price of doing so is too high. A contract is just a formality. Leverage is what ensures that no one even thinks about crossing you. And in a world where people will promise you everything and deliver nothing, the smartest move is to make sure you never put yourself in a position where words are all you have. Number 6, manipulation is everywhere. If you can't see it, you're the target. Manipulation isn't always obvious. It's not just some shady guy twisting his mustache, plotting your downfall. It's everywhere, woven into conversations, relationships, and business deals, often disguised as concern, advice, or even love. The harsh truth? If you can't see manipulation happening around you, it's because you're the one being played. People don't announce their intentions. They move subtly, planting ideas, nudging your decisions, and making you think you're acting on your own when, in reality, you're dancing to their tune. Manipulation works because it preys on blind spots. It targets emotions, insecurities, and the natural human desire to be liked, respected, or needed. That friend who always seems to need something but makes you feel guilty when you say no. That boss who keeps dangling a promotion just to squeeze more work out of you. That person who plays the victim just enough to make you feel like the bad guy when you set a boundary. All manipulation. And if you don't recognize the pattern, you're not just a target, you're a puppet. The most dangerous manipulators aren't the ones who pressure you outright. They're the ones who make you want to comply. They create an illusion where saying yes feels like the right thing to do, even when it's against your best interest. They use flattery, guilt, obligation, or even silence to steer you in their direction. And if you're not paying attention, you'll end up making decisions that benefit them while thinking it was your own choice. A street-smart Sigma male doesn't just listen to words. He watches for intent. He asks himself, why is this person saying this? What do they gain if I believe them? He doesn't get swept up in emotions or social pressure. He stays grounded, analyzing the game while others blindly participate. Because in a world where every interaction has an agenda, you either see the strings or you are the puppet. And if you don't start recognizing manipulation, you'll spend your life being controlled by those who do. Number 7, trust is earned in blood, not words. Trust isn't built on kind words, promises, or handshakes. It's forged in the fire of real situations. Anyone can say they're loyal, but words cost nothing. The real test comes when things get difficult, when there's something to lose, when loyalty has a price. That's when you find out who actually stands with you and who was just there for the benefits. A street-smart Sigma male doesn't trust blindly. He watches how people behave when the stakes are high. When things are good, everybody plays nice. Friends stick around, partners are affectionate, and business associates sing your praises. But the moment trouble hits, that's when the truth comes out. Who starts making excuses? Who disappears? Who suddenly forgets the promises they made? The people who remain, who show up, stand their ground, and prove their loyalty even when it costs them something, those are the ones worth trusting. The problem is, most people trust too easily. They believe nice words, grand gestures, or the illusion of consistency. But manipulation thrives in good times because there's nothing to challenge it. A street-smart Sigma male understands that the only real trust comes from experience. He doesn't rush to call someone a friend, doesn't assume loyalty, and never hands over his confidence cheaply. He observes, he tests, and he lets time reveal the truth. Because trust, once broken, is almost impossible to repair. This is why powerful men don't rely on what people say. They rely on what people do when pressure is applied. They create situations that reveal true character. They watch who acts out of self-interest, who stays solid, and who cracks under pressure. And when they find the rare few who prove their trustworthiness through action, not just words, they guard those relationships with everything. Because in a world full of opportunists, a tested, battle-proven ally is more valuable than gold. Number 8, logic alone won't save you. You need instincts. Intelligence can solve equations, analyze data, and break down strategies, but it won't warn you when you're about to get played. Logic follows patterns, but the real world isn't always logical. It's messy, unpredictable, and full of people who don't play by the rules. That's where instincts come in. A street-smart Sigma male doesn't just rely on what makes sense. He relies on what feels off. Because by the time logic gives you the answer, instincts would have already saved you from the trap. Some of the smartest men in history have been outmaneuvered, not because they weren't intelligent, but because they ignored their gut feeling. They saw the signs, they sensed the shift in energy, but they dismissed it as paranoia or overthinking. Then, boom, betrayed, outplayed, or worse, ruined. Intelligence can analyze a situation after it happens, but instincts prevent it from happening in the first place. And in a world where deception is currency, prevention is everything. Street-smart men understand that instincts aren't just random feelings. They're years of subconscious observations, picking up on things the conscious mind misses. The hesitation in someone's voice, the way their eyes shift when they talk, the overly forced smile, these are red flags that no textbook will teach you to spot. The mistake logical men make is assuming that if something can't be measured, it isn't real. But instincts are real. They've been keeping humans alive for centuries. The difference is some people trust them, and others rationalize them away until it's too late. This doesn't mean you throw logic out the window. It means you use both. Logic gives you the strategy, but instincts tell you when something doesn't add up. And when you combine the two, that's when you become untouchable. Because in a world where people will lie to your face while smiling, instincts aren't just useful, they're your first and last line of defense. Number 9, your reputation is worth more than any degree. Degrees look good on paper, but in the real world, they don't hold nearly as much weight as people think. Your reputation, that's the real currency. It opens doors, commands respect, and determines whether people trust you with opportunities or avoid you like a ticking time bomb. A street-smart Sigma male understands that while skills and knowledge are important, how people perceive you will ultimately dictate your success. Because when decisions are made behind closed doors, your resume won't be there to defend you, but your reputation will. The brutal truth is that people don't just judge you by your achievements, they judge you by your consistency, your reliability, and the way you handle pressure. You could have the highest qualifications, but if people see you as untrustworthy, weak, or unreliable, none of that matters. Conversely, if you have a reputation for being sharp, dependable, and impossible to manipulate, you'll get opportunities even without credentials. This is why the most powerful men in the world aren't necessarily the most educated, but they are the most respected. Your reputation isn't just built on what you say, it's built on what you do when nobody is watching. How you handle betrayal, how you respond to setbacks, how you carry yourself in high-stakes situations. These are the moments that define you, and once your reputation is damaged, good luck fixing it. In a world where information spreads faster than ever, one mistake, one act of weakness, or one bad decision can stain your name permanently. A street-smart Sigma male protects his reputation like his life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. He doesn't entertain nonsense, doesn't involve himself in things that could destroy his credibility, and doesn't let emotions dictate his actions. He understands that respect is earned over time but lost in an instant. And once lost, no degree, no excuse, and no amount of explaining can bring it back. Number 10, women test for weakness even more than men do. Women test for weakness in ways most men don't even realize. It's not random and it's not cruel. It's instinct, just like in nature, where the weakest members of a group don't survive. Women subconsciously filter out men who lack strength, awareness, and self-respect. This isn't about physical power, it's about presence. If you fail these tests, you don't get a second chance. You get discarded, quietly, efficiently, and without hesitation. The mistake most men make is thinking these tests are direct. They're not. A woman won't come up to you and say, "Are you strong enough for me?" No, she'll test in subtle ways, ignoring your text to see if you chase, making a sharp remark to see if you crumble, contradicting you just to see if you stand firm. She wants to know if you're solid or if you'll bend at the first sign of pressure. If you fold, hesitate, or seek her approval, you just failed. And the moment she senses weakness, respect vanishes. Most men think passing these tests means being aggressive or controlling. That's another trap. Strength isn't about overcompensating with fake dominance. It's about not reacting emotionally. A street-smart Sigma male doesn't beg for attention, doesn't argue to prove his worth, and doesn't let minor provocations shake him. He remains composed, not because he's playing a game, but because he genuinely doesn't need validation. That unshakable mindset is what commands respect. Weakness, on the other hand, is punished immediately. Women don't even have to think about it, it's instinctual. They might not call it a test, but they feel when a man lacks confidence, when he's unsure of himself, or when he's desperate for approval. And once they sense it, the attraction is gone, permanently. That's why a Sigma male moves through life with quiet confidence, always in control of himself, never seeking permission to be who he is. Because in a world where everyone is being tested, only the strong get to choose the outcome. Number 11, a man who owes you. Nothing is the most honest man you'll meet. Most people speak with an agenda. They tell you what you want to hear when it serves their interests, and they hide the truth when it could cost them something. That's why brutally honest people are rare, because honesty usually comes with a price. The only person who will ever tell you the raw truth without filters, without manipulation, and without hidden motives is the man who owes you nothing. When someone has nothing to gain from you, they have no reason to lie, flatter, or manipulate. They don't need your approval, your money, or your connections, which means their words are as close to the truth as you'll ever get. That kind of honesty is uncomfortable, sometimes brutal, but it's also invaluable. Because while most people will wrap their words in sugar to keep you comfortable, a man with no agenda will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. This is why powerful men seek the advice of those who aren't dependent on them. A street-smart Sigma male doesn't surround himself with yes men or people who need his favor. He values the words of those who have no reason to lie. He understands that real wisdom comes from those who speak freely, not from those who are trying to secure their own position. But here's the catch. Most people can't handle that level of honesty. They prefer to be lied to be told they're doing great even when they're headed for disaster. That's why honest men are often disliked, even feared. They break illusions, expose weaknesses, and force people to face truths they'd rather avoid. But for a Sigma male, this kind of truth is a weapon. It cuts through deception, reveals real intentions, and keeps him one step ahead in a world full of manipulation. The next time you want the truth, don't ask the person who depends on you. Don't ask the one who benefits from keeping you comfortable. Ask the man who owes you nothing, because his words, whether you like them or not, will be the only ones you can trust. Street smarts aren't optional. They're the difference between being a player in the game or being played by the game. A Sigma male who isn't sharp, aware, and self-reliant is just a target waiting to be hit. The world doesn't reward naivete, and it certainly doesn't protect those who assume things will be fair. Power respects power, and survival belongs to those who can read between the lines, anticipate deception, and stand firm when tested. The truth is, nobody is coming to save you, but that's not a disadvantage, it's freedom. It means your success, your reputation, and your survival are entirely in your hands. It means you get to move with intent, choose your battles wisely, and never depend on anyone's mercy. It means that while others wait to be handed a solution, you become the solution. A street-smart Sigma male doesn't waste time hoping people will be honest, fair, or loyal. He observes, he adapts, and he plays the game with precision. He knows that trust isn't built on words, but on actions. He understands that reputation outweighs any degree, and that leverage is worth more than 1,000 contracts. He sees manipulation before it sees him, and he never reacts out of weakness. He doesn't ask for respect, he commands it by how he moves, how he thinks, and how he refuses to be anyone's pawn. This world is full of traps, But the Sigma male who hones his instincts, sharpens his awareness, and strengthens his self-reliance becomes untouchable. And when you reach that level, you don't just survive, you win. If these raw, unfiltered truths have opened your eyes, don't just leave with knowledge, join the movement. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss out on content that cuts through the noise. Drop a like if you found value, comment your thoughts below, and let us know if you've ever seen these mind games play out in your own life. And most importantly, share this video with someone who needs to hear the truth, because in a world full of illusions, knowledge is the only weapon that keeps you ahead. Bye for now and see you in the next video.